Live from Old Colony Golf Complex, it's time for the Gene Stallings Charity Golf Tournament, benefiting the Rise School, brought to you by Maccabee Construction and WVUA-TV.
Welcome to a special production of WVUA 23, live from the Old Colony Golf Course as the annual Gene Stallings Golf Tournament is underway. Today's broadcast is made possible by Maccabee Construction. It's been a fantastic first day of golf despite some pretty lousy weather. Well, this is day one of the two-day tournament. Teams of 4 have entered to play, and all the money raised benefits the Gene Stallings Center and the Rise School. The goal is to raise as much money as possible for the school and the Rise program. And just today, Hannah Steele made a donation from its employees of more than $6,000. Throughout today's show, we'll take a look at lots of different students, families, and businesses who are constantly affected by the Rise School. Located on the University of Alabama campus, the Rise School teaches young children the basics of life. From typical children to those with special needs, Rise strives to ensure each child is ready to hit the ground running when they enter the real world. Coach Stallings has said that this will be his last Rise Golf Tournament. Over the past 20 years, he's helped this program grow and flourish.
Well, you know, the golf tournament has been a big part of my life, really. It's brought me back to Tuscaloosa on a number of occasions. I always like to come back. Am I going to miss the tournament? Yes. It'll be a little sad, really, but it becomes time when I've got to let the tournament go, and it's got to continue to flourish, and somebody's got to take it and run with it.
Coming up, we'll talk to the coach about his lasting legacy with Rise over the past 20 years. Now, for 40 years, Martha Cook was married to the Rise program. She was a mother to the school and to the children there. Callie Smith shows you how Martha Cook dedicated her life to the school, its mission, and every child that came through the doors.
A lot of social change was going on, so it was exciting times. We were happy.
That's how Martha Cook describes her life in 1974. It's when Rice started in a one-room house with 3 staff members and 6 children. The young graduate was excited to make $9,000 a year as she set out on a mission to make a difference in the lives of special needs children.
I wish people knew, how difficult it was in those days, because that grant funded us only for 3 years.
After 3 years of operating on a year-to-year budget, Cook finally took her struggles to Montgomery. The state's finance director listened, and in 1977, Rice became a line item on the university's budget. But that wasn't enough.
So that gave us some amount of security, but still we then realized that amount that was budgeted as we grew stayed the same. And so it nowhere near funded our program. And so that's when we got the community involved.
Cook credits people like Gene Stallings, the Harrison family, Pete Hanna, and Alabama Power for keeping the doors of Rise open. They saw what she and so many others were trying to build was not just a preschool, but a change of heart.
It was a huge shift in attitude, an attitudinal change about what happens to these children when they grow up. And so by then, at 74 to 94, they were 20, and they were getting jobs, they were taxpayers. I think that we had to prove that our graduates had very positive outcomes.
Some of her proudest moments are those where she rocked Rise students from as young as 8 weeks old. Then she continued to watch them with the satisfaction of knowing what they've accomplished as they successfully transitioned to elementary, high school, and a few even college.
And they do learn a lot in that baby room, and then by the time they leave us, they can read and they can write, and they can do many things that other incoming kindergarten children can't do because they've been to school for 5 years before they go.
Cook's 40-year career includes starting Rise in Tuscaloosa and 6 other similar programs in Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Huntsville. While her front row seat to seeing the children each day ended with retirement in December, she is proud to leave behind a preschool that's fully equipped with qualified teachers, nurses, and a consistent enrollment of children with special needs.
Ultimate success is to send the children out with the tools they need to grow up and become adults and have good life skills. just like everybody else.
While Martha knows change in retirement is good, she hopes the legacy she is leaving is the love for the children. For the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament and WVUA, I'm Callie Smith.
Following Martha's retirement in December, Nick and Terry Saban honored her with the Lifetime Achievement Award. It was inspired by the National Championship Crystal Trophy, won by the Crimson Tide and Coach Saban. Cook received the first award in the 3-year history of the couple's Nick's Kids Foundation luncheon that honored Tuscaloosa area teachers for their service in and out of the classroom. Well, still to come on the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament Special, we speak with the coach himself about what Rise means to him and how the school has impacted his family. Stay with us. Welcome back. This tournament and its mission have one goal: to raise money to benefit the Rise School and improve the lives of special needs children. It's also the goal of Coach Stallings and his family. Jack Royer spoke to Coach Stallings about his life, his coaching career, and the legacy he'll leave behind both on the field and off.
It's been 20 years since Gene Stallings won a national championship for the University of Alabama. His accomplishments as head coach are commemorated on campus, but Stallings says his proudest accomplishment can be found just a few blocks from Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's the Gene Stallings Center, a place that hundreds of special needs children and their families have called home since its opening. A special place for them and for the former coach.
When I was coaching here and I had an important visitor, I'd rather than take him to the stadium and take him to the athletic department, I brought him over here. And I said, I'm going to show you something that's really important.
The RISE program began in 1974, but the Gene Stallings Center has operated in its current location since 1994, thanks to the generosity of people who care about the children as much as he does.
I've seen little children here working a computer. I can't even work a computer. And I see them work a computer, and they learn the ABCs, and they sing songs, and the volunteers are here, the employees are here. It is a well-organized program.
But the cost of running this program is expensive. That's where the Gene Stallings Golf Tournament comes in, with the goal of raising $250,000 this year to help pay for the facility and staff. Stallings' passion for helping special needs children comes from his love and devotion to his son John Mark, or Johnny as he was known, who was born with Down syndrome.
I can tell him that there's light at the end of the tunnel. My life wouldn't have been nearly as rich without John Mark. I didn't think so when he was first born. I prayed hard to God to change Johnny, but he changed me.
Johnny Stallings passed away in 2008. He was 46. Coach Stallings said there wasn't a place Johnny loved more than the Rise Center. He loved the people and the children that benefited from the program just like he did.
It's pretty quiet around here if it's not a Saturday in the fall. Not many crowds gather. Today there's nothing to cheer for. But not many crowds gather up the street either, where the dedication continues for the students at the Gene Stallings Center. His life's work, his greatest accomplishment, the legacy that he's built, that he hopes will continue.
If I've done one thing in my coaching profession, anybody can win a few games. But I think I've made the awareness of the special child a little bit better.
These days, Coach Stallings says he's slowing down. He's coming off back surgery just a few weeks after his 80th birthday. But he knows with the foundation he's laid and the dedication of donors and staff, nothing will slow down the golf tournament, the Rise Center, or its mission. For the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament and WVUA, I'm Jack Royer.
Coach Stallings says he's proud of the tournament and what it accomplishes year after year. He hopes that dedication will continue for years to come. Well, still to come, fundraising impacts so many schools. Hear about one Rise family going the extra mile to fundraise for the school and why. You're watching the WVUA 23's coverage of the Gene Stallings Golf Tournament benefiting the Rise School. James, you gonna get her mic'd up it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
See what I can
Just
do.
maybe. Chair's going backwards. I'm trying to balance.
Hey, Jen, can you guys hear this here? No, that's too short. That's nice. That one.
Yeah, it's a sad one though, isn't it?
Danny, talk.
Huh?
Terry, talk.
Oh, I'm talking?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
talk. Talk
okay.
to talk.
Well, this is
Talk,
what we
talk,
were
talk,
talking about
talk,
is
talk,
that
talk,
Coach
talk,
Stallings, this is his last and Martha's
is.
last. It's even for me.
Alabama Power is a longtime supporter of the Rise School and this golf tournament. Terry,
Yes, we're here again.
you are here again. You work with Alabama Power. You have a
Oh, yeah.
son. His name's Ian. Usually Ian's with us year in and year out.
I know. Well, you know, he didn't like the rain so much. So he has been out here, he ate lunch, and he's like, okay, I'm done, Mom.
Well, he's
So-
not the only one, but we're not done. We've got
No,
some
we're
stuff
not.
to chat about. Terry, let's talk a little bit about Alabama's support for this tournament.
We have about 35 volunteers that help with the tournament from Alabama Power. And it's so funny, I don't have a problem. I've never had a problem. Ian is 28 years old, and I never have a problem getting volunteers to help me with the Rise School. And so they all know Ian, and they're all just so willing to help. And it's like a family at Alabama Power. So I'm excited about this year, and new employees come in, and then they get pumped up about the Rise School. And so it's really an easy sell for me.
Easy sell.
Easy
you,
sell.
You mentioned family. Ian's your son. He's 28. Now he is he is a Rise School graduate, and he's an
is.
employee now too.
Yes,
correct?
he's a tax-paying citizen. He started at the Rise School whenever he was 13 days old, and progressed through and graduated, and then went on to was mainstream into regular kindergarten, and went through high school, and then went to Crossing Points, and now luckily he's back at Rise and he's an employee. So it's great for him. He's in an environment that he loves, and they love him and they understand him, but they challenge him. You know, and he's a valued employee there, and he will tell you that.
I think that's one of the things that's so compelling about the work that's done at Rise is kids are not taken and just separated and put off to be alone and overlooked and forgotten and excused for having disabilities. They're challenged because
they are.
Tell us about Ian's time at Rise and the challenges he faced.
Early on, and I really didn't, Ian was actually my first baby, and I didn't know, one, anything about being a mom, but two, how was I going to help him, you know, develop in a more timely manner. And whenever I entered the Rise School, I felt, oh, I'm in a safe haven. And they helped me with not just his eating pattern, his toy patterns, his fine motor skills, and any obstacle that Ian faced, we faced it together. We were with the Rise staff and Dr. Martha Cook and then Ian, so it worked out great.
All right, super. Terry, we were chatting during the break. You mentioned that it's sort of sad and poignant today because this will be Coach Stallings' last tournament after 20 of them. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I remember whenever we first started and Coach Stallings came in, and we had previously done golf tournaments before. As a matter of fact, the first one we did, me and some Alabama Power employees made sandwiches in my parents' basement and made sack lunches for them, and we made $1,700. And this year, I can't tell you how much we're going to make. I'm excited. I mean, the Rise kids are shining today. The sun may not be, but they're shining today because everybody's still coming out and having a good time and seem to be happy to be here. So, and we're excited.
How about this weather? You know,
How about
you can
it?
blame Richard Scott. It's all Richard Scott's
I
fault.
know it. I wondered who to blame.
That always. That's your scapegoat. Terry, thank you so much for being with us.
Listen, I enjoyed it, and thank y'all for coming here every year.
Absolutely. It is our pleasure.
Thanks.
Well, you hear about fundraisers at nearly every school, but to the Rise School, those funds can change a person's life. It's not just the money it brings in, but the volunteers who put the hard work into making it happen year after year. Reporter Caitlin Chastain introduces you to one Rise family who's giving back simply because they feel that it's the right thing to do.
It's a weekend of organizing, bidding, and selling.
It takes everybody working together. We've got great volunteers.
All in the name of Rise.
You get a little bit of it in you. I mean, you just continue to stick around, you know.
Scott Trim and his family help with the Buy for Rise fundraiser every year.
We really get involved in it, and it's a good thing, you know. We just tell them what it's about, and people want to come, you know. It's just a good program.
I just like being with my father and just do what he asks me to do.
Merchandise is donated by local stores and sold for a fraction of the price, with all the proceeds benefiting Rise.
Rise has always been a notoriety for Tuscaloosa, for kids with special needs.
A place that holds a special meaning to the Trim family.
18 and a half years ago, we didn't know anything about Rise until Judd was born with Down syndrome.
Scott's wife, Tammy, says Rise helps with every aspect of raising a special needs child.
Rise has always been there for us, especially when you find out you've got a child with special needs. You look for all the literature you can find, all of the knowledge, everybody who can tell you something. And when I walked in up here, I felt like I knew it all. It was a lot of understanding, the way it was explained to you.
For students like Judson, attending Rise came at no cost at all.
I know me and Tammy wouldn't have been able to do it, you know. We would have tried to dig it up, you know, found a way, but I just don't see how it would have been possible. But, I mean, it's a blessing for people who really need it.
And for Judson, his experience goes far beyond the books. Even after graduating, he still calls Rise his home. He works part-time, 5 days a week.
Rise is so special to me when I came to school. So when Martha called me, she said, hey, I gave you a job up here now. So I came to work better with them because they have very special needs, and so that's why I love coming to Rise.
That's why helping with Rise fundraisers is a family affair year-round.
Once you start, it's just a special place in your heart that you don't want to leave, you don't want to get out of it.
It's all about the school. I mean, that's what keeps bringing us back. Just trying to pay back what we got out of it.
A debt Scott and Tammy say they will never be able to repay, but seeing their son happy makes it worth the extra effort.
It really makes me feel proud that Judd, and he really cares about his job. He looks forward to getting up every morning and coming to work.
And for Judson, working at Rise is rewarding. He enjoys helping with the kids until the day they graduate.
We love our 5-year-olds because every year for graduation, and it makes us sad to see them go off to big school. So that's why they wanted me here, because they want me to be the part of kids, to just be with them.
To the family, Rise is more like home than a school.
He knows where he's at and what he's doing, so I feel safe whenever he's here.
And they're thankful for the staff who makes it that way.
They're here not for the job, but it's because they want to be here and do what they do every day.
For the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament and WVUA, I'm Caitlin Chastain.
Judson is one of 8 graduates Rise is asked to come back and work at the Stallings Center. He and many members of the Trim family volunteered every fundraiser and event the program has. As part of the family affair, he works alongside his sister and cousin, who are also longtime employees at Rise. Coming up here on the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament Special, these two girls led their twin power show at the Rise School. Find out what makes them one in a million. Oh, it's an as live? Okay. Okay. How's it looking? Can you see? Have you got return video? You do? You have return video? Over there.
No, I can see it. I don't see what the station sees. D3, the tag, there's nothing written in it. So out of Jim's package, you go right to D4.
Okay. A lot of different donors and sponsors help make the Rise School the best it can be for students and staff. Today, WVUA's Jen Chapman reached out to a pair of donors whose businesses are huge parts of the program's success.
Legendary Alabama football coach Gene Stallings credits his son, Johnny, for making him a better person. For the last 20 years, Stallings has been affiliated with the Rise Golf Tournament, bringing in area business leaders to play for a cause near and dear to Stallings' heart.
It was one thing to be committed when he was the coach, but to be committed as he has been since he has not been the coach, and it speaks volumes, not only for the Rise School and his commitment to the Rise School, but for challenged children.
Coach Stallings' lore extends beyond his 1992 undefeated national championship season with the Tide and directly to the heart of the Tuscaloosa community.
The awareness that Coach brings to these children and what is needed for these children. There's a lot of people that utilize the RISE program in here. He's educated the public to needs that would go unnoticed if he hadn't been involved.
You cannot possibly express what really RISE has done, not only for the community and the people and the children, but it is Tuscaloosa in itself. And honestly, from people that I know of who are from out of state even, they know of RISE in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Coach Stallings challenged longtime friend Hal Bissell's company to donate 10% of 1 week's sales. Today, a check given for over $6,000. Bissell says it's simple why businesses should get involved.
We've made a good living off the community, and it's our obligation to put this back to the community.
At the age of 80, Stallings said today this would be the last tournament he would play in, but he was taking putts for everyone on hole 17. Reporting from the Gene Stallings tournament at Old Colony, Jen Chapman, WVUA News.
The RISE School plays a huge role in educating children with special needs and peers their own age. Reporter Emily Forrester takes a look into the lives of twin sisters who are double the energy and double the trouble.
Sally Kate and Ann Rogers. Sally Kate with glasses, Ann Rogers without. Toes on the edge. 4-year-old identical twins who are anything but ordinary.
They're a constant source of joy and mischief all in one.
Sally Kate is, I would say that she is the leader of the pack, and Rogers is the one a little bit behind her sister, but she's the one edging Sally Kate on to get into some mischief.
Jumping, swinging, running around. The twins do it all.
They're just rambunctious, fun, sweet little girls.
Typically, if they're not busy, if we don't have them doing something, they're finding something to get into.
But their twin power goes beyond their energy and personalities. Within a couple weeks of the girls' birth, the Hines found out their twin daughters both had Down syndrome, making them 1 in a million.
We had Sally Kate tested first, and there were a couple little indicators that she might have Down syndrome, so we had her tested first. When that result came back, we then tested Ann Rogers.
The Hines keep their daughters busy in different extracurricular classes throughout the week.
Gymnastics, we started, they were about, I think they were 18 months old, just right when they could start, and we just did that as another physical therapy lesson. Just learning how to walk on a balance beam and learning how to climb and learning how to jump are all just very important things in the development of the children. We had the girls in the pool at about 6 months old because I knew it was so important to me.
Between swimming and gymnastics, the twins have a lot that they have to balance.
Give me a high five. And the girls have their strengths and weaknesses.
Keep your feet up.
Sally Kate loves gymnastics, and Ann Rogers loves swimming. I mean, and they really shine at each one.
1, 2, 3.
The trick to it all is making it fun. No one wants to not be having a good time. So, if you're showing them a good time and letting them have fun, I think we've found that the good gets in, the learning gets in.
The Hines say leaders at the RISE school give them confidence in their daughter's future success in the real world.
RISE has been a rock for us. It's great knowing that we're going to one of the best facilities in the world. We know when we drop our little girls off in the morning that RISE is helping to build a strong foundation for them that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Go ahead, Sally Kate. Sally Kate and Ann Rogers continue to give their parents a run for their money, and they see no end in sight.
You did it, Ann Rogers.
I wish we could harness their energy. I wish I had 1/100th of their energy. They are wide open. They love nothing more than chasing kitty cats around, and if they have a wide open space, they're gone. And unfortunately, they've figured out that one parent can't chase them both. So they'll split up. First opportunity, they go in different directions.
The twins have 2 more years at Rise before they go into the public school system. For the Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament and WVUA, I'm Emily Forrester.
Gymnastics and swimming aren't the only activities the twins love. They also enjoy shopping at Target. Well, still to come here on WVUA 23's Gene Stallings Rise Golf Tournament Special.
At some daycares, nurses aren't needed, but here at Rise, it's the law. Straight ahead, we'll show you how donations and 4 staff members are making it possible for some children to go to school.
The page turn.